Thanks for joining us. It's the biggest personnel change at the University Hospital's fertility center since the crisis hit last month.
The center's top boss is being moved out, but will remain in a smaller role. Chris Ty now joins us with the story. Chris, what do we know?
Russ and Sarah, UH has been very quick to tell us about the equipment upgrades, the new tanks, the new alarms, the surveillance equipment. But when the cuts run as deep as this one did, costing hundreds of families their crack at having kids, some say heads need to roll. And the biggest name displaced so far, the head of the fertility center. We learned this tonight, but he's not going far.
A very gentle person who...
Dr. James Goldfarb is a pioneer in the industry, credited with Ohio's first in vitro fertilization and the world's first IVF surrogate birth back in 1986. 32 years later, after being wooed from the Cleveland Clinic to UH, this cutting-edge physician is seeing his position cut. He will remain with the UH Fertility Clinic, but in a far diminished role. The hospital says his role will be focused on patient care to assure their needs are met. In his place at the top,
that we will take care of them.
Dr. James Liu, the doctor who's been the face of the hospital during this crisis. He's been the head of the OB/GYN department for a while now. UH is trying to stem the damage from this massive crisis that's affected 950 families. We learned last month it was human error that caused the destruction of the eggs and the embryos in the long-term storage tanks at university hospitals. It is unclear if this is the end of the personnel changes at the fertility clinic. Of course, there are dozens of lawsuits, as we reported, many of them either filed already or about to be filed against UH. How this chapter, the maneuvering of personnel, changes or sends a message in that legal community, it is still too early to tell. Chris Ty, Channel 3 News.